Authorities in Greene County are investigating a deadly plane crash they say could take days to clean up. And there's a lot of construction in Verona, and some in the community say it's making them feel trapped. And the president is in Singapore tonight preparing for a historic meeting with Kim Jong-un. It's been a rocky relationship between the two. We'll take a look at what got them here.
This is News 3 at 10.
Good evening and thanks for watching News 3 at 10. I am Amanda Quintana. We start with developing news tonight in southeastern Wisconsin, where authorities say it could be several days until the scene of a deadly airplane crash is cleaned up. All 4 people who were in that plane are dead tonight after it crashed near the Monroe Airport. Officials with the Greene County Sheriff's Department say the plane went down around noon in an open field. It was engulfed in flames by the time emergency help arrived. According to the Sheriff's Department, the plane was coming to Monroe from Kenosha. The pilot, her daughter, and her 2 grandchildren were aboard the plane at that time.
Very sorry for the loss. We understand there's some attachment to family here in Monroe. We'll do our utmost to assist in the investigation. We'll be having people staged at the scene throughout the night. The Sheriff's Department takes an active role throughout an investigation, assisting federal agencies, liaison with family, offering what types of services that we can in our community until this is completed.
The Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board are on scene. The sheriff says the cloudy weather may have played a role in the cause of the crash, but that is still not known at this time. Authorities in Oshkosh are releasing new information tonight about a deadly helicopter crash. The Winnebago County Sheriff's Department says the pilot was 27-year-old Jonathan Barr from Platteville. And yesterday afternoon, he was flying above the Fox River in Oshkosh when he hit high-tension power lines. Once the area was secure, divers recovered the body of that pilot and the helicopter from the river. The names of the victims in a crash on Highway 19 near Westport are also being released today. The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office says 21-year-old Thomas Westrich was killed when he was driving recklessly on Friday afternoon and hit 68-year-old Frank Fundsingland and his wife, 64-year-old Lorraine, head-on. Lorraine was airlifted to a Madison hospital but later died. That investigation is ongoing. Police in South Beloit say a father and son are dead tonight following a murder-suicide early this morning. Police responded to calls of shots fired inside a house just after midnight. When they got there, a man was in the front yard with a handgun. When police approached, he ran away, going into the woods, and he shot himself. Police say he also shot his son before killing himself, and that investigation is ongoing. All right, let's turn it over to Karen Swanson with a look at your first alert forecast.
Hi there. We've had some pretty wet weather over the weekend, especially across parts of southwest Wisconsin, where some areas saw some 5 to 6 inch rainfall totals. Here in Madison, we did see lesser amounts, but still some heavier downpours early today. But now we're seeing some clouds across the region, generally some drizzle, but that drizzle will continue to fall apart as we head through the overnight. You may see some areas of fog as well. Temperatures right now are in the 50s and the 60s across much of the state. We're at 62 degrees here in Madison. It's 63 in Janesville, as well as in Wisconsin Dells, 63 in Mineral Point, and 64 degrees in Platteville. By early tomorrow morning, we're down to 58 degrees, and it looks like it will be a milder day. Highs topping out at 76 in the afternoon. We'll see skies turning partly sunny with our next chance of showers and a few thunderstorms arriving later tomorrow night. We'll talk more about that outlook coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Karen. Construction on Lacey Road starts tomorrow, and this is on top of at least 3 other projects in the Verona area. And people who live there say they're starting to feel trapped. News 3's Amy Reed joins us now in the studio with why some of them are feeling this way.
For the people inside, they told me normal trips just down the road are taking at least 3 to 5 times as long. The Brennans are taking a much-needed break from the latest stress.
Yeah, 9th grade.
Not Alex starting high school, but what's on the way?
Everywhere you turn, it's construction.
We got multiple projects in Verona going on.
Theron Jacobson gets it. Verona Avenue, Highway M, Old PB, it's a lot going on at once. But he said this saves time down the road.
There's a way in. There's a way out at all locations, so
And it's still working.
we're doing the best we can. It's Wisconsin. It's summer, which equals orange barrels.
But where there's orange barrels,
It's hard to get around. It's main thoroughfares, and we can't get anywhere.
Actually, trying to get to my track practice, which is at the Verona track, you know, you'd think that's like 2-3 minutes, but no, it's not. It's 10-15 again. Such a short ride. It's ridiculous.
the traffic cuts into the everyday. Even peaceful bike rides get disrupted. And your quick trip to Madison is now a half hour. Jacobson said it should be done fairly soon, but it could make a lot of people late before then,
I was late every day, pretty much.
which is a big deal, especially when impressions matter.
I just wanted to be over with and just smooth rides. I don't want to be late, especially in high school.
Verona Public Works said this should wrap up around August. Until then, they just ask for patience.
All right, thank you so much, Amy. Local officials are asking people to stop putting grass clippings into the street after mowing their lawns. Madison's water resource engineer Phil Gabler says those clippings can have a significant impact on our area lakes and rivers. When grass clippings get into the water, the phosphorus in them can then cause blue-green algae blooms, which can be dangerous and eventually close our beaches. Gabler says the natural phosphorus in lawns actually helps the grass grow, so when the grass is pushed into the street, the lawn loses its natural fertilizer.
If you use a mower that's pushing it out the side, not only are you losing the phosphorus that your grass needs, it's going into the lake.
Yard waste pushed into the streets can also cause storm drains to get clogged up. If you're planning to mow your lawn soon and don't want to leave it on the yard, there are ways to dispose of it properly.
So if people aren't mulching the material in place and are choosing to rake it up, they should bring it to a drop-off site where it gets composted. Or they can even compost it in their homes themselves. Perfectly acceptable solution.
You can find a list of Madison drop-off sites by going to the City of Madison's website. We will have that link on our website as well, channel3000.com. A downtown Madison favorite will reopen a section of its restaurant after a fire shut it down on Friday. According to the old-fashioned Facebook page, they will reopen part of the building tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock, but it's not clear how much of the building. The rest of the Capitol Square restaurant is expected to open on Tuesday. The health department had to come in and clear the building of health violations before it could reopen. Well, how did the U.S. and North Korea go from what seemed to be the brink of war just months ago to a joint appearance on the world stage? CBS's Ben Tracy takes us through the twists and turns that led them to Singapore.
His endless string of missile launches earned Kim Jong-un one of President Trump's most memorable and derisive nicknames.
Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself.
North Korea pulled no punches, calling the president old, senile, and mentally deranged. But the rhetorical fire and fury stopped in January when Kim Jong-un offered to send North Korean athletes to the February Olympics in South Korea and proposed a summit with President Moon Jae-in. But first, in March, Kim Jong-un paid a visit to President Xi Jinping of China, the North's main ally and trading partner. This was the North Korean dictator's first meeting with another head of state and his first trip outside North Korea as its leader. Then the historic North-South summit 1 month later, where Kim Jong-un showed off a previously well-hidden personality, even inviting President Moon to make a brief visit into the North. The 34-year-old suddenly looked less like an international pariah and more like a savvy politician, offering to dismantle his nuclear program and officially end the Korean War. And now, the ultimate prize, a sit-down with the President of the United States.
Kim Jong-un is actually getting something very significant simply by doing the meeting.
Paul Hanley was a member of the National Security Council during the Bush and Obama administrations. Are you impressed by what he's accomplished in a short period of time?
One has to admit, he has played a relatively weak hand very cleverly.
Ben Tracy, CBS News, Singapore.
We will have the latest updates about that meeting tomorrow and Tuesday on News 3 and channel3000.com. 99 years ago today, Wisconsin became the first state to ratify the 19th Amendment recognizing women's right to vote. To celebrate the anniversary today of this victory, community members walked the streets from the UW campus to the state capitol. Though the suffrage movement ended nearly a century ago, to this attendee, the spirit of the suffragettes is still strong.
Saying you don't have time to vote or you can't figure it out, that's not an excuse. They didn't deal with that. They fought really hard and died for us to have this right. So that's why I'm here today representing them.
Attendees and organizers emphasize the importance of using your right to vote, especially in the coming midterms. Funds raised from the walk benefited the ACLU of Wisconsin and the League of Women's Voters. Coming up, you know the saying, now we're cooking with gas, but what if it's better to use charcoal? Consumer Reports puts the top charcoal grills to the test. We will see which grill is best for you when we come back. Welcome back. There may never be an answer to the great debate, what's better, grilling with gas or charcoal? But after 20 years, Consumer Reports has resumed their testing of charcoal models to see which are most user-friendly and do a good job of cooking. News 3's Madeline O'Neill reports.
During the week, Stanley Placencia grills professionally for parties, mostly on gas grills. But at home, he prefers to grill with charcoal.
Gas is great, but I prefer to grill on charcoal because it gives the food a better flavor. People enjoy it more, especially because of that smoky taste.
Consumer Reports tests a charcoal grill's ability to maintain even temperature as well as the quality of indirect heating for foods that cook on the cooler part of the grates, like skin on chicken or fish. But cooking performance isn't everything. Convenience plays a bigger part in your grilling experience. CR says to consider how easy a grill will be to use. The ever-popular 22-inch Weber kettle grill came out ahead of the other kettle grills tested. It's a very good performer when it comes to evenness. A plus when you're grilling lots of burgers at the same time. This barrel-style Kingsford with cast iron grates rated very good for evenness, but CR's testers gave it excellent marks for convenience. The large front opening lets you access coals during cooking, and the easily removable pan makes it simple to clean. And if you're ready to spring for a bigger grill that will support a party, consider this Dynaglow. It cooks well and is easy to clean. You can replace coals through the front door, and the coal grates can raise or lower easily in order to control cooking. And in the end, good food is what it's all about. This is Madeline O'Neill.
Consumer Reports has 2 simple tips to make sure you are a better griller. Always take the time to get the coals to the right temperature, covered with fine gray ash, and avoid using lighter fluid or those self-lighting coals that can produce an off taste that distorts the flavor of the food. Well, today was a good day for dog lovers. An event today brought pet owners from across the area to Sun Prairie for some fun with their 4-legged friends. Mound's Dog Fest welcomed dogs of all kinds to Angel Park Speedway for a variety of pet-friendly activities. Playful pups were enjoying an event focused on them, but event organizers say the mission of Dog Fest is about more than just having fun.
It's just a showcase of all the local rescue groups that are out there. A lot of people aren't even aware that there's so many rescue groups, purebred rescue groups, where they can find their best friend, you know? So I guess that's what's really great about it, and to bring everybody together in one spot.
Demonstrations that led pups try dock jumping and other games like fly ball drew crowds. Over 40 animal rescue groups were there in attendance. People were celebrating the water today at Madison's Waterfront Fest. It all started with the 8th annual Fools Flotilla. It's a floating parade down the Yahara River. 2 bands played music on big pontoon boats while people in costumes participated with their own boats. The River Alliance of Wisconsin says it's all about raising awareness about the importance of water.
So inspiring. I think this is a Madison bucket list item. Whether you want to be on the water and participate, or whether you just want to watch from a bridge or bring grandkids out to see it, it's just exciting to see people come out and celebrate the water today and be together.
Back on land, 2 music stages featured local and regional bands. Vendors from local restaurants and businesses were on hand for delicious snacks as well. You have to have the snacks. All right, let's check in with Karen Swanson for a look at the forecast. Today was not the best day to have celebrations like that.
Yeah, not the best to be out there, but we do have some warmer weather. I had a lot of kids are heading out to camps this week for their first full week of summer, and we do have some warmer temperatures on the way. Tonight we do have some clouds across southern Wisconsin. There have been some areas of drizzle as well, but some of that drizzle will start to fade away. The main rain right now is down across parts of Iowa and also well off to our southeast. So just that drizzle tonight, but we did have some heavier downpours of rain through the weekend. In fact, parts of southwest Wisconsin saw around 2 to 6 inches plus of rain accumulate over the last 48 hours. These are some of our radar estimates, and you can see some of that sharp cutoff in those heavier numbers from about the western part of Dane County off to the west. And look how it really tapers off to the northeast, with some of those northern counties seeing hardly any rain, if any, during this weekend. And we checked in with about 1.13 inches of rain here in Madison today. Yesterday we had a trace of rain, and we've had a lot of days so far this month with some of those rain reports. Only 3 days have been completely dry, and we've totaled almost 1.5 inches of rain so far. Here's our time lapse today, seeing some of those low clouds, those foggy conditions with those off and on showers at times. Kind of a gloomy Sunday, and with those clouds, temperatures stayed cooler today as well. Only 67 after a low of 60 degrees. Normals for today are 77 and 54. Right now in Madison, it's 62 degrees. Winds are northeasterly at 7 miles per hour. It is a little bit cooler over toward the lake. Some 50s showing up there. Elsewhere, some 60s across southern Wisconsin. It is quite a bit warmer off to our southwest. That's south of a nearly stationary boundary that's been influencing our weather for the last several days, with all of those rain systems making their way through southern Wisconsin. That stays off to our south tonight. Just some drizzle here across southern Wisconsin. We'll see some breaks in the clouds develop as we head through the day tomorrow. And then here comes that next impulse making its its way through, but that's the tail end of that stationary front. So seeing some shower and thunderstorm chances develop late tomorrow night into Tuesday. Behind that, high pressure makes its way in for the middle of the week with some dry weather for your Wednesday. Tonight, 58 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, still some areas of drizzle and some fog possible. Tomorrow, skies will become partly sunny. It will be a breezy and mild day. That high tops out at 76 degrees. Here's your future track forecast showing those clouds across the region tonight. Temperatures drop back into the upper 50s and low 60s by early tomorrow. We'll see that mixture of clouds and sunshine through the day tomorrow. Temperatures looking milder, topping out in the 70s in the afternoon. And then we do get into some shower and thunderstorm chances late tomorrow night and into the day on Tuesday. As far as rain potential, most areas staying under about 1/4 of an inch of rain through the day on Tuesday. Perhaps some slightly higher amounts off into some of our western locations. Behind that, you can expect those temperatures to be warming. We're back into the 80s starting on Tuesday, and we'll really crank up the heat as we head toward the weekend. You can expect another shower or thunderstorm chance from Wednesday night into Thursday. The warm front passes us by Friday with a shower or thunderstorm chance, and then it's when temperatures get well into the 80s for the weekend. Some heat index values into the 90s.
It'll really start to feel like summer.
It sure will, yeah. Some heat on the way.
Yes, thank you, Karin. Well, Matt Kenseth with a tough day in Michigan. Highlights coming at you next in sports.
Well, the high school sports season continuing to wrap up. This weekend we had softball and tennis, and this upcoming week we've got state championship games in girls soccer. Here's a look at the teams from our area who will be representing in Milwaukee. In Division II on Thursday, Oregon is the 3 seed against New Berlin Eisenhower. That game at 1:30 p.m. Divisions 3 and 4 will be played on Friday. Belleville New Glarus will face Notre Dame at 7 p.m. And earlier in the day in Division 4, Wisconsin Heights Barneveld will take on top seed Cedar Grove, New Belgium. Well, a historic weekend for the Badgers track and field team. Georgia Ellenwood winning the first ever national championship in the heptathlon in program history, and Ollie Hoare winning a title in the 1500 meters. The Badgers were one of 5 schools in the country to win both a men's and women's individual championship. Well, I was so ready to get my G-Man Choi Brewers jerseys, but now it's just going to be a collector's item because Choi has been traded to the Tampa Bay Rays for infielder Brad Miller, who will start off in AAA. Choi just hit a pinch hit grand slam yesterday, the first one for this team this season, and was promptly set down to Colorado Springs because the Brewers needed a starting pitcher in the rotation for today. So Brandon Woodruff called up for the start on the mound in the series finale against the Phillies. Philadelphia up 1-0 until the 5th inning. Bases loaded for Lorenzo Cain. He will go right back up the middle. Ryan Braun scores, and it is a tie ball game. Next up, Christian Yelich, ball 4. So the Brewers will take the 2-1 lead on a walk. Not that exciting, but we'll take it. The Phillies answer back and more. They're up 4-2 in the 8th. Ryan Braun to center field there. RBI single scoring Yelich, but the Brewers still down 4-3. That's how it would end tonight. The Brewers host the Cubs tomorrow. And speaking of the Cubs, they're hoping for a sweep in the series finale against the Pirates today. Big 6th inning for Pittsburgh, already up 1-0. Elias Diaz going to right field. Austin Meadows scores 2-0 Pirates. 2 batters later, bases loaded for Gregory Polanco with the Pirates already up there. Ball to the right field corner, scoring 3 runs, 5-0 Pirates. No sweep tonight. Cubs lose 7-1. Mother Nature forcing 2 hours of rain delays at Michigan International Speedway today, so this is what they did for entertainment in the meantime. On lap 33, Matt Kenseth with some issues in the right rear. They're seeing some sparks. And then with 7 laps left, Clint Boyer passing Kevin Harvick, who's having quite the season. But Mother Nature was the winner today, forcing the race to be called. Boyer officially wins the Firekeepers 400. It's his 2nd victory of the season. A familiar place for Rafael Nadal, the men's singles finals at the French Open. The defending champion overcame adversity in the 3rd set when his middle finger started cramping. But no big deal. He beat Austrian Dominic Thiem in straight sets to win his 11th title at Roland Garros. And final round of the FedEx St. Jude Classic in Memphis. Lots of Mother Nature there as well. Dustin Johnson tied for the lead coming into today, putting for par here on 12. No problems at all. And then the approach on 18. Check this out. He will nail the shot here for the eagle. That's how he finishes today. Amazing stuff to move to 19 under. And with this win, he also reclaims the world #1 spot. And Edgerton native Steve Stricker, he finished tied for 18th place. Had a couple birdies, had a couple bogeys today. But AmFam Championship also coming up here in Madison at the end of the month. Gosh, 2 weeks away. Summer's flying by already.
It's flying by. Although it doesn't feel like summer, it's going by pretty fast.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. We will be right back.